Yeah, yeah. That's we do, and now you can hear the countdown has started. Make sure you get your predictions in, because they're not going to be open for much longer. Who is going to win here? Who is going to qualify? Is it our Protoss or our Terran as we get into game number 1? And we were even lucky enough to be a part of, or to be here, present, for the vetoes and the map order.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to that. I don't know what the maps are. I don't know what the maps are going to be anyway, so... Yeah, but regardless, we are loading into our first map for our first but the last qualifying match of the evening. So kicking things off in 2,000 atmospheres, here in the bottom left-hand corner map, we have the pink Protoss player coming out for the land of Hong Kong. He is the best Protoss player from Hong Kong, going to be representing Zest apparently, but also Juggernaut Gaming as the analyst. He is Bistork.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of 2,000 atmospheres, LE, we have the Taiwanese Terran player. He is red, representing Team Naive Dream World. It is JavieR.
Time to make that dream world a real one.
Yeah, boy. And I just realized something. The reason why when I think of JavieR, I think of something like classy and like, you know, expensive.
Because it is a hot classy name.
Because in my mind, he eats nothing but caviar.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah. Nothing but that, mate. It's all his diet consists of.
That's literally it. Yeah, nothing else. He drinks the most expensive wines out there.
In the Caribbean.
Exactly. In his beach house.
Oh my god. But I'm worried because...
Nothing but Armani.
No, he wears Armani? What?
Yeah.
He is good friend. He is good friends with Armani. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're affiliated with the Gucci gang.
Are they?
Oh god. But
I'm sure it's a good thing or not.
I don't know if it is either. I'm a little bit concerned for JavieR though, because as we get into this series, we were talking about it in the previous or earlier today when we were casting Bistork. He is an incredibly unorthodox player, incredibly aggressive. He can be terrifying if you're not on top of your scouting and if you don't know what he's doing.
Well, you know what's even scarier than that though? He can also just play standard.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
And Bistork's versatility is just something else. You always have to keep your eye on him because he's a player who's like kind of Biomega-esque in that regard. You may scout his initial tech, but then he'll just cancel and go into something else.
Exactly. It's disgusting. It's awful to play against.
It's technically it's inefficient for Protoss, but that's why it works so well for Bistork because his opponents just never expect it coming.
And speaking of not expecting things coming, unfortunately, JavieR was not on top of his wall. The wall was not a wall, and now his Rax is getting delayed. Ooh, a second SCV gets taken out as well.
Yeah, very nice target firing from this Adept. Is it gonna get a third?
Oh my god, almost. More importantly, he scouts the opener. An incredibly aggressive opener.
That is a very early eBay that's already researching. That is a very early second Rax and an even earlier third.
Oh my god.
We saw this recently, haven't we?
Yeah, we did.
Versus Dark Shrine.
We did. Oh my god.
What was that match?
I don't
remember.
I don't quite recall either. So again, as Yaku was saying, we do have 3 Raxes on the way here. We do have +1, a very early +1 timing. The problem is that Bistork saw everything, and his response are DTs.
I want to say it was Dream versus someone. I don't remember who.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't ESL Open Cup Asia. Yeah. Maybe Haas.
Potentially. Yeah, I guess Bistork was watching that because DTs can do really well to counteract the 3 Rax. 3 Rax, it hits very hard, but it's kind of a glass cannon. Every time your opponent's forced to use a scan, every time they get a stim pack wasted, it is just gonna add up so well for the Protoss player.
Exactly. In multiple instances, we've seen DTs in this scenario used offensively and defensively, and because you're only on 2 CCs, because again you're very committed and essentially all in, like you don't necessarily have a lot of energy and scans available to you. Like this can be devastating. The War Prism's already across the map. We already have 2 DTs.
Finished up earlier on, yeah.
Oh.
And there is no missile turret either. Thankfully for JavieR, the DTs do get dropped in a singular location. I say that, but I did not notice the other DT sneaking its way in, and neither did JavieR. GG, Bistork takes advantage of that very aggressive opening from his opponent and takes a quick game number 1. 5:05. 5 minutes, 5 seconds. That's how long the game lasted.
Just wow.
What a shutdown.
Yeah, that was brutal, mate. That was brutal. But again, the only reason why that worked was because Bistork scouted what his opponent was going for. He knew what weaknesses JavieR had and just exploited them.
Without a doubt. Or at least the weaknesses of that opening. And I guess it was fortunate that Bistork was going for a Twilight Council first regardless. If he went Stargate first, he could not pull that off. But that's why Twilight Council gives you so many options as the Protoss player in a PvT as an opening. Stargate opening can net you a lot of damage, especially if you go for Oracles first, or if you build into more of a Phoenix Gateway style. But you're kind of penned into that style for the rest of the game. You go Twilight Council. Gateway of opportunities. But regardless, we are going to be continuing our series here. Our best of 5 qualifying series here on Oxide LE. We're in the top right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the top right-hand corner. We have the pink Protoss player coming down from the land of Hong Kong. He's the best Protoss player of Hong Kong, and he's kind of shown that off here tonight. He is going to be representing 2016 Zest, apparently, and also Juggernaut Gaming. He is Bistork.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the Taiwanese Terran player. He is red, representing Team Naive Dream World. It is JavieR.
Already the pro being annoying.
Yeah, exactly. Again, what we expect from Bistork. Oh, he's denying it.
JavieR's on top of it. Nicely done. All right, so now we induct JavieR into CranKy Ducklings, right? being able to deny the gas steal.
Yeah, JavieR, he's a really big fan of the Ducklings, and he does shoot into our personal streams. He's well aware of those gas steals.
The initiation, right? Yeah. I mean, that's why we were so iffy, right? Of signing Starduck. We were like, you need to prove yourself. Prove that you can deny Oreo from gas stealing you.
Exactly.
And he was able to, so yeah, then we signed him.
Confirmed. Did happen.
That's the lore.
Oh god, but nothing too crazy in the early game. Obviously, Bistork was being pesky and annoying here with his probe. The probe is still alive, by the way, but oh my gosh,
now
he avoids it.
For now.
Oh, he's going back in. He wants the SCV.
No, it was
weakened from earlier.
Goodbye this time, and now he attacks that SCV. Continues to get a delay. Finally, the probe will die. But it is more than paid for itself. I mean, scouts the opening. Well, scouts a little bit of the opening. He kept his eyes on the gas count. He kept his eyes on the timing of the natural base, and also the fact that it was a Reaper into a reactor, so no safety marine, which can tell you a lot, but you do need to send in a follow-up scout to confirm your suspicions.
You do, and oh my god, if they just went straight to the natural mate, he could delay the base even further. I think he still can. Oh god, it's gonna be close.
Not quite, yeah.
Jesus, that was almost disastrous.
It really was. But he is just looking to get scouting information right now. Not going to be a 3 racks here from JavieR this time. Just a 2-1 so far. Let's see if he gets the other one.
Exactly. exactly. This is much less aggressive, but it's still a very bio-heavy opener here from JavieR. I'm sure because of the Marine counts, Bistork is a little bit aware of what it could be coming his way. But he has... Oh, yeah, I just checked. He did... Oh, actually. Oh, my God.
Oh, wait, it is a 3 racks.
Yeah.
Just from factory. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be a 2-on-1. But
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
So
So
this is going to be a 3x tank push instead.
So the thing is, and oh, my God, mate, he's doing it again.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like it may be even better this time. Defensive DTs. They could get on top of the tanks. Or just as a way to cancel the tanks.
This feels bad, man. Like, War Prism's on the way.
He's scared!
Oh, he's scared!
He's scared!
Let's go! NGB gets thrown out. That's the problem, though. Again, game 1, he already had the NGB because of his opener. Now he has to wait for it to finish up for the missile turrets. Meanwhile, War Prism's already going across the map. DTs are going to be here. Missile turrets will not be done in time.
And because he skipped down to Starport, no Raven available. He will have 1 scan available shortly, but only 1. Oh, the Marines are fanning out.
Oh, they are. They're getting ready. He still has 1 scan. There we go. Missile turrets are now being produced here, so the DTs are not going to end the game like they did previously.
That is going to be a full wall as well, at least in one of the one front of the natural. 1 scan goes down. DTs are kind of bunched up right now. Not the best harass here from Bistork, but at least he keeps the DTs alive. At least he keeps his Warp Prism alive.
Yeah, the problem is, especially for JavieR, is that this nullifies his push. Like, if he pushed out now, DTs will harass his army in the middle of the map. Like, sure, he has detection at home, but now he has to bank up scans if he still wants to go for that attack.
Yeah, it's really keeping him behind. I mean, this is why Bistork, he's getting value out from the DTs, even without killing anything, just because he is containing JavieR on 2 bases for so long.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, he just gets his 3rd.
He does get a 3rd base. Meanwhile, the Archons are now coming in as well. He will not.
Do you want to risk it, Bistork? Oh, he risks it and he keeps everything alive. I don't know how, but he has.
There was no stim, mate. There was no stim to chase that down. So somehow, yeah, like Bistork just barely gets away with that greed. Like he wanted to pick up a tank. In the end, he didn't. But oh my God, that was crazy.
He weakened it significantly, though.
Yeah.
Okay, it's being repaired. Which, I mean, a little bit of lost resources, but not the end of the world here for the Terran player. Oh, rally?
Oh God. Ay. Meanwhile, what's important to note is that JavieR, instead of throwing down a 3rd CC, gets 2 more Raxes. Like the first initial push that he wanted to go for, maybe that didn't work out, but now he's getting ready for a 2nd. I say that as it looks like he does. Oh no, never mind.
No, just scouting SCV. This lane to the game. The Archons are back, and it will delay this. Bistork gets a very good scout on JavieR's follow-up.
I was
gonna say, I like. I mean, he just strokes his beef, and it gives him protein? Question mark? I don't know. But yeah, I was gonna say, I actually do like this response from JavieR. Don't try to catch up on the Protoss player. Instead, double down on the aggression.
Yep.
There's an old saying, right? When your opponent expands attack, that's exactly what JavieR is doing. But there's also another saying, which is when your opponent does anything, defend, attack, and expand at the same time. And that's what Bistork is looking to do.
Ooh, meanwhile, the War Prism finally goes down. This is still going to be annoying. It does actually... Oh my God, it pulled the army of JavieR back. Yeah.
So long. In that time, 5 more gateways finished up from Bistork. The shield batteries were done. And Bistork doesn't even want to fight in shield battery range. He knows he has enough of an army.
Exactly. He's going to wait on top of the ramp, force that siege up, delay the push even further here for JavieR. Ooh, JavieR has to be careful. We do have some sentries. We do have energy for force fields.
Yeah, there's a real possibility his bio gets cut in half.
Oh,
but I feel like Bistork is being a little overconfident right now. Tanks aren't siege up, though, which is something, but it's really not the tanks that are scary right now for this Protoss army. I say that, but Archons, they be beefy. Chargelets, they be buffery.
Exactly, just like that, both tanks of JavieR get focused down by the Immortals. And as you were saying, Bistork, he doesn't even need to fight with the assistance of the shield batteries. He can just go toe-to-toe with the army in the middle of the map.
I don't know how he does it.
Oh my God, it's the power of the beef, it's the power of the Stork, it's the power of the stroke, mate, as Bistork comes in with his 2nd War Prism into the main base. It does pull the attention of JavieR away. Bistork, up.
Starting to get low, but as you were saying, that was mostly just a distraction war prism as the rest of the army busts down that bunker. No more tanks here to defend. Still a lot of bio that Bistork has to be careful of. But he does not engage them. But he just doesn't engage the bio on JavieR's terms. JavieR wants to fight on that choke point, wants to make sure that those units go up that ramp. Bistork says, I see you. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm not suicidal.
You thought I was, but I wasn't. And Bistork does pull back. A couple of things did happen though. The War Prism was sniped. So because of that, JavieR has to be feeling a lot more better about his position here. He does end up defending on 2 bases. Problem is that he's still on 2 bases. There is no third CC behind this. Like, he is still all in, which is a terrifying thought because Bistork, he doesn't just have a 3rd base, he's got a 4th on the way. Like, JavieR needs to pull the trigger now or never.
Yeah, I feel like he needed to pull trigger earlier on, right?
He did.
Before Bistork got that base up, but unfortunately, Bistork did find an opening to sneak his Archons in, distracted the army for long enough to buy more than enough time to even just push across the map himself. The DTs is still going to be annoying.
Yeah.
They actually scout the army.
Oh my god, exactly. Now here we go, the final battle of the entire game here. We do have a lot of Widow Mines, to be fair. They do go off one of the Archons. Both Archons get picked off.
Is JavieR doing it? Very nice Widow Mine shots. The Liberator gets picked off. Still a lot of bio here to deal with, but the DT is still very annoying.
Oh
No,
my god.
JavieR could have closed things out if not for that DT.
There's no scans. There's just no scans available. He's waiting for one in his main base. At the same time, another DT goes into the natural. I guess he forgot about the missile turret because that does deal with things. But because of this, like, JavieR, his push gets delayed even further, and now disruptors are coming out.
And he had a terrifying push too.
Yeah.
Bistork was just starting to transition to his into his Robobait tech.
Yeah. Like there was a moment there for sure. 100% there was a moment there for JavieR, but unfortunately Bistork knew exactly what he needed, and that's just DTs.
Yeah. Apparently, mark my words, one day DTs are gonna take the place of the Zealots.
Oh yeah, it's happening, mate.
Alright, I'm not so sure about this push out, Bistork. Take a lot of damage on your gateway units, but they are just gateway units. They are kind of expendable. Massive push here into the 3rd base, though.
Yeah, a lot of Widow Mines here to reinforce as well. At the same time, War Prism does get into main base. Oh my god, we have a force field on the ramp. Bistork trying to be aggressive across the map, but again, does he have enough to defend both bases at the same time?
Not if that Doom Drop is anything to say about it. Bistork, you gotta recall your army, and he does. A little bit of production is starting to go down. Once again, you see the SimCity actually working in favor of the attacker. DTs, defensive DTs, they are going to be able to clean this up. And so far, JavieR has lost a lot more to Bistork. We'll see if that changes with this drop in the 3rd base. Oh no!
I thought JavieR was going to be able to snowball things here at the natural, sorry, at the 3rd base, but he was defended by those DTs. He gets defended again by DTs as the final scan was utilized. As all this was happening, 14 SCVs went down across the map. The entire mineral line in the main base. JavieR, he was already all in, but even more so now, and he's getting pushed all the way back.
Yeah, Thermaland has finished up for these Colossus, and man, it's just so painful, right? As a Terran player, I've seen multiple times, you know, there were some opportunities for JavieR, but those Cloaky boys, they kind of ruin all your plans. You can never plan for DTs, and with that, Bistork's already on match point. It's already on match point.
He really is. GG, well played. 2 games in a row off the back of those DTs. Bistork was just able to hinder, slow down, and shut down the aggression of JavieR. As you said, even though the initial push was slowed down by JavieR, like, he had a follow-up plan, and it almost worked. It almost worked. But almost isn't enough in a game of StarCraft.
Yeah. It is pretty cut and dry, ain't it? You win or you lose. You'll get points for performance. Which, well, they do score you on performance, technically. How many units you kill, how many units you produce, how many buildings you make, how many resources you mine and spend. But, I mean, that doesn't really matter at the end of the day. The only thing that matters is, do you GG out or does your opponent GG out?
Yeah. Aye.
As we continue our best of 5 qualifying match and hopefully don't conclude it, but it is kind of looking that way, as in the bottom right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the pink Protoss player coming out from the land of Hong Kong. He is the best Protoss player from Hong Kong, apparently the best PvT player as well, because my god, he is just shutting down his Terran opponent so hard here. He is going to be representing 2016 Zest as well as Juggernaut Gaming. He is the analyst. He is Bistork.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Taiwanese Terran. Oh, the Taiwanese Terran player. He's red, representing Naive Dream World NDW. Currently down in the series, he needs to win it here and now, otherwise he is out of the qualifier. It is JavieR.
I don't like what that probe is doing. Yeah. And I'm sure JavieR won't either.
Oh boy.
I was like, that's a very odd pathing to go for a scout there, Bistork.
It's real.
Scouting.
Yeah, it really is. Meanwhile, the initial probe is being annoying. I mean, we've seen this time and time and time again from Bistork, so nothing crazy so far. Just wreaking a little bit of havoc in the early game. Meanwhile, Bistork does have that proxy gateway, has another gateway at her, and we already have a Zealot rallying across the map. Behind this is the Cyber Core, so we are going to be seeing some, I imagine, Stalkers. Oh boy. It'll be a
Yeah, I mean, it could. If you're going completely unupgraded, then, you know, the best unit to get is Stalkers. They have much better range than anything the Terran player can make for now.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of micro potential with Stalkers, even without Blink.
Yeah, I mean, the Stalkers, they're going to come out. They can shut down the Reaper. They can shut down the building SCV. Meanwhile, the Reaper is scouting.
Speaking of the Reaper, should be able to see this.
No.
No.
He doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't see anything.
He was rarely towards the location that would have been able to see it, but unfortunately he does not. The probe even able to take out the SCV building the bunker, and now the SCV has to be pulled away from the CC to build a bunker, and it will go down to the Stalker. JavieR cannot be happy about anything going on this game.
He cannot. The Zealot is coming in as well, dealing so much damage to these SCVs, delaying the CC. The Reaper almost goes down. Can the CC finish? No, it's not finishing.
He pulled the SCVs, which was a little bit of a gambit. You know, best case scenario, you're able to surround some of your opponent's units, and you know, you have some spare SCVs to continue building just in case. Bistork even getting shield batteries there, but that they do not even need to come into play. GG, Bistork qualifies for the close qualifiers. Whew.
GG, well played. Bistork does take the W here. He does qualify for DreamHack Taiwan, Hong Kong for the close qualifiers, but my heart goes out to JavieR there, because that was a rough series.
Protoss player. Yeah. Massive fan of Bistork. You know, I'm always gonna be cheering for him. I'm usually gonna be cheering for him, but I mean, as a Terran player, that was brutal. And Light, I mean, you as a Zerg player who has had a rough couple of ZVPs this season. I think we definitely feel for that, but kudos to Bistork for knowing exactly how to shut down his opponent.
Yeah, like I'm just like I kind of became a fan of JavieR here this qualifier. Like watching him in the previous series, like it was great to see him
against
slowly
Nazin.
rise. Yeah, he had a good showing. I was hoping for
especially after that game number 1, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
He was fighting back so hard.
He
fought back so hard, and he made it to the qualifying match.
Yeah, and to be fair, in the qualifying match, he was the underdog. Bistork is a very, very solid staple of this region. So it was going to be an uphill battle. But to go down in the way he did, he came prepared, by the way. Like, he never intended to go into the late game against Bistork, which I think is probably the right move. Like, he was opening up aggressively with his like early +1 timing with his 3-maxes. But Bistork, his responses were just so good. His scouting as well, so good.
Really were. But again, as you were saying, you know, players like Bistork and Yoga and Cell, you expect them to make it to those close qualifiers. There are still a handful of wildcard slots left, you know, where it's really hard to predict who's going to make it through. I'm rooting for JavieR on Thursday when we have open qualifier number 2. I really think he has a good chance of making it to the close qualifiers this season.
Yeah, I do as well. And we're going to find out as well, because here on the CranKy Ducklings, we are going to be casting the second Taiwan-Hong Kong qualifier that's going to be in a couple of days. Not just those, but we're also going to be covering the qualifiers for China, Oceania, North America, Latin America, anything and everything, except for Europe.
You have to sleep sometime. I just smiled because I saw Supremo in chat.
Yep. Supremo in chat. Welcome.
Finally woke up.
He did. So, yeah, congratulations to, I mean, let's say not just Bistork, but Yoga as well. He was the other player to qualify today.
Yeah, they weren't quite able to catch his games, but I mean, he just crushed the opposition. 3-0 3-0 crush the opposition.
Exactly. That he
I
did.
knew there was a reason I used that term. I forgot who his opponent was. But in my head, it was like, no, you have to say, he crushed the opposition. And I'm like, why, brain? Trust me. You look at the bracket, you'll realize why.
Shaking my head, mate. Shaking my head. Oh god, speaking of the bracket, I'm just showing on the screen right now. You can see all the players that have been invited to the Taiwan-Hong Kong main event. We brought them up briefly before, but always Haas and Nice, the trifecta of Protoss, are there in the main event, alongside Expect, the best Terran player in all of Taiwan. Meanwhile, it is very Zerg light there because all the Zergs are in the closed qualifier. Go Joey, Mystery Man, and Rex, alongside Lemon, who's like half a Zerg.
Used to be, I mean. All the Zerg players, I'm sure, are like shaking their head. You used to be cool. You used to be one of us. Now look at you. Quick question in the chat here from Azros. Is it over, or will Yoga play Bistork? Well, Yoga, unfortunately, is currently offline. They don't need to play against each other, but I think it is, like, you know, the admins, sometimes they do encourage the players who qualify to play against each other just for seeding purposes and whatnot. But again, it's not necessary for them. So yeah, unfortunately, we will not be getting a Bistork versus Yoga match.
Yes, here for these qualifiers at least. I know it sometimes is different for other regions, but for Taiwan, Hong Kong, they do not play for seeding. The players, they just qualify.
Yeah. And to be fair, I mean, Yoga, he qualified an hour and a half ago. He would have had to wait a long time, and it's getting late over there in Taiwan, so
yeah, that it
can't really blame him for wanting to dip out.
Completely understandable, but I mean, they don't have to play anyway. And yeah, with that, we are done for the day. I just realized that this is maybe not the... Maybe I have to work on something here. Okay, no, there we go. Nah, there was just something wrong with the overlay, but it's fine. But yes, our next broadcast, if you wish to tune in to that, is going to be, let me just quickly check, in 8 hours and 30 minutes. That is going to be the first qualifier for DreamHack Winter North America. All right.
No, because the thing is, like, last week I was like, okay, DreamHack qualifiers are coming up. I don't have school. Do I want to, like, try to wake up? And then you just said 8.5 hours. So nope, not for me. I may be able to wake up, like, in the middle of the cast. So, you know, if you don't have a co-caster, I might be able to jump in halfway through, but I wouldn't hold my breath, personally.
Yeah, we'll see what we do with the qualifiers, because last season, Darking joined me for all the North American and Latin American qualifiers, but this season he actually has a full-time job, so he's actually not available.
In my head.
I know, it feels bad.
Killing esports employment.
Shaking my head. So we will have a different caster lineup for those. Regardless, we will still cover all the qualifiers just like we have for the entire year and also last year. So if you enjoyed our broadcast and if you want to tune into more DreamHack qualifiers, then follow us here on the CranKy Ducklings.
Tune in to them. Yeah, do just that.
Yes.
Seems like, you know, it's an obvious, obvious decision to make there.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Hit that
Go on,
follow
do
button.
it.
Yeah. If you want to support us even further, it is September, so there is a discount on Twitch subs, so
Hey.
you can even subscribe on our Twitch channel if you wish, if you want to go that one step further. Otherwise, yeah, follow us here on Twitch, social media, all that good stuff for when we go live, so then you can know when to tune in.
Mm-hmm. And with that, we'll see you in an hour, I guess, or you'll see him in an hour.
8 hours.
Did I say an hour? I meant yeah. Did I say an I said an hour, didn't I?
Oh
Yeah. I did. 8 hours. There we go.
There you go. There you go. Meanwhile,
I should not be drinking Red Bull.
Meanwhile, Yaku, why don't you tell the people, mate, where they can find you? I know we're going to be busy casting, so not so much time for our personal streams, but for whenever you do stream, like, where can they find you?
Well, aside from being able to find me here at the CranKy Ducklings, twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1, if I'm able to, you know, squeeze out a stream on, like, the one day where we don't have a qualifier to cast and whatnot, but even then, I probably won't. If I'm able to squeeze out a stream, it will be over there. I'll announce it over at twitter.com at @EmporiaYakuzaku, as well as in Discord. Exclamation mark Discord and chat. You'll find myself, you'll find Light, you'll find Zergling Claw's Attack, I think. If you haven't joined the Discord, then why haven't you, Zergling? Shaking my head.
Yeah, Zergling.
And all of the other CranKy affiliates. Other than that, buy my shirts. Where can we find you, Light?
Find me at light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I do stream occasionally throughout the week, typically ladder sessions, so if you want to tune in, we typically have a good time there. Not so much against Protoss, but against everyone else, it's all good. It's all good. Otherwise, I typically stream, you know, some Final Fantasy 14 if you want to tune into that, maybe some Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, just, you know, some chill streams. But if you want to tune into our broadcast, then they are here live on the CranKy Ducklings almost, or we're going to be here live twice a day, every single day for the next week.
And beyond, probably, because,
yeah,
I mean, we have a bit of an idea of what the B streams are going to look like for Taiwan, Hong Kong, China, NZ, but, you know, they're still finalizing some details for the schedule for EU and NA, which we may or may not be doing. We are going to play it by ear.
Yes. We're not entirely sure about that. It's quite possible that we're going to be notified like last minute, and then we're just gonna go. But we'll see. Meanwhile, thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and give plenty of love to Vivid, because Vivid is currently streaming. He's an Australian Zerg player, and we're just gonna rate him and give him some love.
He's playing StarCraft.
He's playing StarCraft. It's happening,
mate.
So with that, do you have?
The champs this year.
He is.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to add, Yaku?
Thai Red Bull more than normal Red Bull.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah. I feel like this is like Bert and Ernie.
The cans, yeah. Oh my god.
Sesame Street.
Aye. So yes, thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will see you in 8 hours. Ciao.
Bella.